All right. Hello, Plus Me family. Welcome back to another Our Stories Matter Feature Friday segment where we conduct interviews with community members and center the conversation around the theme of the week. And this week, your journaling activities and the theme all focused on small moments and identifying those key moments or memories that impacted our journey. Today, our Feature Friday interview is with Kimberly Klassen. She is the mental health, she is Associate Director of Mental Health at the Children's Bureau. So please welcome Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly.
Hello.
Thank you again for being a part of our Feature Friday segment. We really appreciate it.
So happy to be a part of it.
All right, so we're gonna hop right into it. So dealing with small moments, what small moments do you take to create a sense of normalcy or peace during this time?
Yeah. And for me, I'm such a family person that it's definitely been an adjustment not being able
Mhm.
to see my parents because they're older and definitely wanting to practice social distancing with them, but still finding ways to still keep in contact with them. We do our Zoom and we're able to kind of do phone calls and things like that. And also, I have a new 8-month baby boy. And so I think the blessing in disguise with this virus that's so horrible is
Mhm.
he would be in daycare and I would be doing the LA traffic and spending less time with him. So I'm really feeling blessed and grateful that I've gotten more time with him. Granted, it's been so difficult kind of working full time and, being mom and being home with him, but I'm just so happy I've gotten more time with him and my husband and just really cherishing those moments with my family, even though we go a little stir crazy sometimes. And then walk. Making sure you get outside is so, so important. So we've been trying to do that even with this heat, going out early. That's helped a
Yes.
lot.
Oh wow. And to have like this baby at home, you know what I'm saying?
And
And
he's a personality.
I'm sure, and what
Yeah,
I'm thinking about, and what you say is so right, in terms of being grateful for these moments that you're getting to spend, even in amongst of all this uncertainty and a lot of fear, the ability to be with your child at home, and you know even though I'm sure, as you said, use the word stir crazy, even though we can get stir crazy, just not having to, I guess, I feel women have to always balance and choose between career and home, and kind of being able to have it all together can
yeah,
definitely be a blessing for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I am so grateful that I'm given this opportunity because otherwise I would never have that time.
That is so true. Wow, that is so true. Um, Describe a moment of insecurity in your life, and how did you move past it?
Yeah. So when I think about what I was most insecure about growing up was feeling like I wasn't smart. And so I still to this day really struggle with using the S word,
Mm,
stupid, just
mm,
because it has such an emotional charge for me. And so for me growing up in elementary school, I was diagnosed with a learning disability in math. And so I would get pulled out of class a lot. And then when you get pulled out of class, a lot of the kids will ask, why did you get pulled out of class? And where were you? And I would feel a lot of shame with
mhm.
answering that question and letting people know and thinking that there was something wrong with me. And I wasn't smart because, I needed that extra help. And
Mhm.
so that was something I was very insecure about, just thinking I'm not good at school. There's something wrong with my brain where I can't be good at school. And then you feel a little hopeless with that. And so that was a huge insecurity for me growing up.
Mm,
And so how I overcame that. So it's really weird. There's this defining moment for me when I was in fourth grade. I remember it so well. And I got this report card. And the report card had horrible grades on it. And I remember just crying and bawling, looking at this, just again feeling really bad, feeling like I'm not smart. And I made this promise to myself. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put all of myself into doing really well in school. I don't want to see this type of grade ever again. I'm going to really dedicate myself and give 110% and make sure that I really succeed at this. And really from that moment, I, would study countless hours. My dad would have to shut off the lights at home to get me to go to bed because I would be studying so late at night and fall asleep in the books because I truly dedicated myself and really wanted to excel. And really did after that get good grades. And I learned from then on, when you put your mind to something and you work hard and you're willing to work 10 times harder than the person next to you, you can absolutely be successful and you can do anything.
Exactly. I mean, you are the Associate Director of Mental Health, okay, at the Children's Bureau. So, I mean, what you do now is just a testament to your hard work. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you and I, we have similarities in our stories. And I felt that same way, being insecure and doubting my intelligence. I went to a prep school where everyone was very smart and it was, academic focused. And I struggled in math, and I was a year behind in math and science, and constantly questioning, like, why am I here? Everyone else is so much better. And one of the things I had to do was release the shame I felt of being behind, and release the shame of maybe not knowing the answers, and being willing to say, can you repeat that? Can you, like, I don't understand this, how you did this, and admitting that I needed to help. So.
And I think that piece is huge too, because I think sometimes I would feel shame in asking for help too. But then, when I really dedicated myself, there's no shame in asking for help, because we all have strengths. So we all have areas that we're not as strong in. And, sometimes you need a little bit of extra help to boost those skills that you're not as strong in. And it took me a little bit longer to kind of just really embrace help from others and people really wanting to provide that help and assistance.
Exactly. And so for all you students who are watching this, okay, take it from me and Kimberly, like, ask questions, use the resources at your disposal. They're there for you. And there's no shame in asking for help, because you don't get anywhere without help. No one gets anywhere without someone helping them. So use our life. Okay, y'all, you guys are listening. Describe a defining moment in your life.
Yeah, so kind of building off of what I just shared, I think of one of the most defining moments of my life was graduating with my doctorate. Because here I was, this kid who at a very young age had this learning disability, who, people kind of wrote off. I probably wouldn't have gone this far in school initially, and kind of working my behind off to get there, and putting blood, sweat, and tears, and keeping that promise to that fourth grader that I was going to give my all and I was going to make it, and proving myself right about that. And so I made that promise and I kept it, and that meant a lot to me. So kind of reaching that finish line essentially, and getting to where I wanted to be, that was huge for me. And I was so emotional during my graduation, and just all that work, it all came into that moment, and it felt amazing.
Yeah, I have to say that's pretty baller. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about it, and just when you look back on your journey, and you thinking about all those moments, maybe you could have gone a different direction, or if you had believed the negative thoughts that were going on in your own mind, or maybe the negative assumptions that other people had about your life, and what that path would have looked like had you believed that nonsense, but you took another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing like obtaining that goal. There's no better feeling. And and it's so easy to kind of throw in the towel and say, and I'm not, because it took so much work.
Right.
It was so worth it.
I love that. It's worth it, you guys. Okay. The hard work, don't be intimidated by the hard work. Okay.
No.
It's all worth it in the end.
And to me, there's a sense of feeling it's not impossible. It just takes hard work.
Right.
And for me, realizing that as a kid was really powerful for me to learn I can do just the same thing anybody else. I just might have to work harder, and that's okay. I'm willing to do that.
And I want to add on to something that you said, like, in addition to hard work, I think, it takes time, right? And I think, we're growing up, or young people are growing up in this era where they feel everything is happening instantly. They have everything at their fingertips, so everything is happening fast. And they feel bad if by, age 21, they're not CEOs or making millions of dollars. And it's like, well, it takes time, right? There's a seasoning process to all of this. So take your time and get seasoned. So.
Absolutely. And I think there's something to be said about taking your time and finding your passion in life too,
Mhm.
because that's so important to find out what do you want to do for the rest of your life? What kind of life do you want to live? And I think there's a lot of pressure on kids to know that really young, and that's tough.
I think so too. I felt that pressure, and it's a little unfair. And I want students and even adults to give themselves some grace and to take off the pressure, and identify what makes you happy and what
Yeah.
interests that you have, and use whatever gift you discover to be of service to someone else. So take the pressure off, you guys. And my last question is, what small moment or memory um, from your journey will you pass down to your children?
Gosh, I have so many, but I think I go back to me being young and making promises to myself. And so I did it when I was that fourth grader, but I also remember like things that would scare me. I always like loved acting, but I was really afraid and I was shy to kind of try out for theater. And I remember like the summer going into my senior year, I was like, I'm going to do it. And I waited to that very last play, which was a musical, and I cannot sing. You know what? I promised myself that I would try out and at least try. And I made myself go and sing, and I didn't make it and I didn't get into the play, but I felt so proud of myself for like just, overcoming that fear and keeping that promise to myself. And so I would want to pass that on to my children is, make promises to yourself and keep them.
Mm,
When you set goals for yourself, work hard, persevere, be tenacious, and make them happen. Because I think the hard part is figuring out what you're passionate about. But once you do that, put blood, sweat, and tears to make that happen. So
right.
that's a huge one for me.
Yeah, I like that. So basically, keeping your promise to yourself, or holding yourself accountable to the
Yes.
goals that you set. You know what I'm saying? So like even when it does get difficult and challenging and you want to give up, it's like, well, no, I made this promise to myself. I'm going to hold myself accountable. And my mom would always say, at the end of the day, all you have is your word. And it's not just your word that you're giving to other people, but it's to yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if you say you want to climb this mountain, then put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, and I think it's also realizing sometimes you're your biggest obstacle and
Mm,
don't get in your own way. And
mm.
so, you know, just overcome. Don't let fear stop you from doing anything that you want to do.
Ah, I appreciate that. That resonated with me for sure. Being your own worst critic and your biggest obstacle.
Yes.
So, everyone, you heard it here from Kimberly. You can do it. Whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. It sounds cliche. You've heard it a million times before, but it's true, you guys. It's absolutely true. Please let our journeys, Kimberly's journey, serve as a testament to that. And I want to thank Kimberly again for joining us on this Feature Friday segment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Plus Me family, I will catch you for the next Feature Friday segment. So please come back, and I'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.